I want to talk to you guys about catching the hard to catch horses on the Gaucho Derby, but before I do, I just want to talk about, a couple of days ago I posted a video about allowing a horse to say no, and there was a bit of contention about that in social media, people saying that you're going to teach the horse to be bad and all sorts of things, and it doesn't work in real life situations. So I thought I'd share this video footage I have from the Gaucho Derby last year, where I used the allowing a horse to say no to actually get the hard to catch horses to get caught. The Gaucho Derby, in case you don't know, it's billed as the world's toughest horse race, or one of the world's toughest horse races. It's not actually a horse race. It is a adventure survival race that just happens to be on horseback. It's in the Patagonian region of Argentina. It's a 500-kilometer race. You get 10 days to complete the race, and in that race you'll ride 7 different horses. And so about every day and a half you've got to get a new horse. And what they do is they have you draw a number out of a hat, and then you go into this big pen, yard, corral, whatever you want to call it, with all these horses in there, and you catch your horse. And I went to Argentina for the Gaucho, a year before the Gaucho Derby. I went to Argentina for what's called the Gaucho Academy, and so you learn about the horses and the terrain and the race and all that sort of stuff. And it was interesting, the first day I saw them catching their horses there, it was an interesting way of doing it. There's a lot of running around and chasing horses and swinging lead ropes, and there's a lot of dust flying. And I thought at the time, oh well, I feel there's a better way of doing it. That's the way they do it there. So I'm not going to say they're doing it wrong. That's the way they do it. But I thought, I think there's a much better way of doing it. And so then when I did the race in 2024, yeah, some of those horses can be kind of hard to catch. And one day I spent the night at a horse station, so the next morning I get to catch my horse first, but I got in late the day before, so I had a time penalty, so I couldn't catch my horse first thing in the morning. I had to wait an hour. But I was watching the other competitors trying to catch their horses, and there was, you know, those horses, you can get them running around, and you know, whenever they kind of see you coming, they're on high alert sort of thing, and you almost only have to look at one and they'll run away sort of thing. They can almost feel your gaze on them. And so the competitors were having a hard time catching their horses, and I said to the race organisers, I said, I know I can't catch my horse yet, but can I help them? And they said, yeah. And so I said, how, you guys want some help? And they said, yes. So I went in, and I don't know, within 10 minutes I'd caught 5 horses. So I was just kind of catching the horses for people and say, hey, who's got number such and such? And so I did the race with a lovely lady named Candice Carradine, and she videoed that little interaction. So I'll kind of play that. I'll play that. This is not showing how I got to the point of catching them. I'll show you that in a minute. But this was me when I was catching the other competitors' horses, and I've got. Might have a hard time hearing Candice because of the wind. It's very windy down there. But I'll put on the screen exactly what she said, and then I'll show you how I caught my horse on my own in that big pen when I went in to catch him.
63. Oh, sorry, this was 62. This is my one.
Who's 296? Anybody need 296?
It's all right, I'll just keep doing it, just we'll keep passing.
Anybody need 267? What about 69?
That's me.
Okay, don't get your horse. Yeah, I'll back him up a little, make him space for you.
So everybody, the riders who were here to catch their horses, there was about 6 of them, and they were spending about 15-20 minutes running them around in circles and circles, just creating a lot of energy. And then Warwick kind of saw what was going on and decided to step in. And in about 5 minutes, he had 3 horses that he
Do we need
put aside
293 or not?
Yes, okay. Distributing and quieting the herd and handing them out to riders. We're on a 2-hour race hold right now. And so anybody who gets a horse now is going to be waiting with them, taking the time. So close. Yeah. Yeah.
Does anybody need 63?
No, I don't think so. That one there, that Palomino there.
So now I'll show you how I went in and caught my horse, and this is GoPro footage, so it's actually on my chest. I'm going to probably voice over the top of it because I don't think you can hear what I'm saying because of the wind there. But the big thing I do is anytime that horse thinks away from me, or, you know, so thinking away from it would be a no, wouldn't it? Like, I don't want to get caught. Anytime this horse would say no, or I'm worried, or whatever, I would step back. And so that would be the allowing them to say no thing. And you'll see on this video how I actually got my horse caught in under 2 minutes. So that's my horse right there. And right there I was going to start to match steps with him, but he stopped. And he looked at me, so I stepped backwards right there. So I step backwards when he looks at me. He starts to walk off, so I start to walk off with him. He looks away right there. That's a no. I step backwards. And when I step backwards, he looks at me. So then I step back some more because now I have his attention. So I'm stepping backwards and he's drawing towards me. Usually these horses don't approach like that, but he's like, oh, that's not, no, I can't do that. So now I match steps with him, right, left, right, left, right, left. And then he looks at me, or he looks away right there, I think. I think he turns his eyes away from me, which is kind of a no, like I'm going to leave. So I step backwards. Now he's not doing anything, so I approach him. I can't see his eyes, but he must have looked away right there slightly, and I step backwards. You notice when I step backwards, he then looked at me. Then he walks off, so I'm just going to match steps with him. I'm trying not to go towards him and trying to go the same direction he's going in. So if he's not doing anything, I'm going to approach him. Oh, he must have looked, his eyes must have looked away right then. And I step back, and you might notice that drew his head to me. So I start to approach him again. Right there, his eyes must have turned away. His head didn't turn, but I think his eyes turned away. Like, that's the start of, I'm about to leave. You know, I'm going to leave. So I step towards him again, and he doesn't do anything. So I just keep stepping until he does something. When he looks at me, I'll step backwards. And then I'm going to wait. I'm not going to approach him while he's looking at me. When he's in kind of a neutral position like that, I'm going to approach him. If he looks at me, I'll step backwards. Approach him. Approach him. Approach him. He looks at me. I probably step backwards a little bit right there. And then I've got him. And he looked like he was really easy, but he was one of the ones in there running around before. But it's just, for me, it was those little parts, and it's hard to see in the video, but as their eyes turn away, if you step back, right when their thoughts go, I'm about to leave, if you step back, you're communicating your awareness of their thoughts. So I think the big thing, maybe you learnt from that, is allowing the horse to say no does not mean it looks like they're saying an absolute refusal and running away or whatever. You know, if you think about it, I stayed under the runaway. If you think those other contestants that were in there, you know, the other competitors in there before me kind of got those horses running around, I was staying under the run around, because by the time they're running around, you have missed some little no's or not yet's, or I'm not quite sure. And I feel like if you can communicate your awareness, those little no's, that's where the trust comes in. That's when they, you know, they have some trust in you. And I think that's where the magic lies. So hopefully this whole little video here is kind of giving you some ideas of how you can incorporate allowing horses to say no into real world situations.